The Art of War. The Art of War, written by Sun Tzu, has been considered the definitive text on military strategy and warfare ever since being written in ancient China around 500 BC, inspiring businesses, athletes, and of course generals to beat their opponents in competition the right way until today. Victorious warriors win first and then go to war, while defeated warriors go to war first and then seek to win. Sun Tzu. Key points of the Art of War. There isn't a single occasion in which a country has benefited from a prolonged conflict. A good general makes it a point to forage on his adversary's territory. In terms of supplies, 1 cartload of the enemy's supplies is comparable to 20 of one's own. The highest level of greatness consists in tearing down the enemy's resistance without engaging in combat. Besieging fortified cities is the most disastrous plan of all. Depending on whether or not the circumstances are favorable, one should adjust one's plans. It is possible to know how to conquer without actually being able to achieve it. After a victory has been achieved in a war, the triumphant strategist seeks fight only after the victory has been achieved. When it comes to combat, there are only 2 types of attacks, direct and indirect. If an army marches through land where the enemy is not present, it can cover enormous distances without becoming distressed. If you exclusively attack sites that are undefended, you may be sure that your attacks will be successful. Take your time and consider your options before taking action. Only enter battles you know you can win. Deceive your competition to make them do what you want. Lead your team as if you were leading a single man by the hand. It is said that you should appear weak when you are strong, and strong when you are weak. Evade him if he is physically stronger than you. Attack him where he is most vulnerable. Surprise people by appearing where they least expect it. A general who loses a battle makes only a few calculations before the battle begins. Overview of the Art of War. Only enter fights you realize you can win. Victors realize when to battle and when not to battle. Failures consistently battle and in this manner regularly wind up losing. Boneheads enter fights and afterward begin contemplating how to win. Planners realize how they will win before they even begin to fight. Have you at any point contemplated the way that the most talented contenders regularly stay away from fights and that is the reason they're rarely crushed? Take Bobby Fischer, for example. The most splendid chess player ever immediately withdrew, after he won the big showdown, not playing again for a very long time. So in case you're beginning a business, take a gander at the business first. Would you be able to try and win against your greatest rivals? Furthermore, in case not, is there an alternate specialty you can fill? Making a soft drink brand to rival Coca-Cola would absolutely be a work to no end, considering that more than 1 billion beverages of the brand are devoured each and every day. Yet, perhaps you can make a more extravagant, eco-accommodating other option, that objectives single moms. That could make a fortune. Only enter fights you realize you can win. Deceive your rivals to force your will on them. Cover strength with shortcoming, mental fortitude with meekness and request with jumble, Sun Tzu says. A sharp-armed force will win not with their bodies, but rather with their psyches. Causing it to appear as though you're miles away when you're near the adversary's base with interruptions, or shock assaulting in a few spots to fragment contradicting powers are normal strategies in the combat zone. They're founded on misleading and expected to cause your adversary to do what you need them to do. In business, you can do likewise. I'm constantly confounded to find madly beneficial and ruling organizations, which, toward the front, seem like they're a mother and pop store. Take AppSumo, for instance. There's very little to find. It appears to be a little everyday bargain site, isn't that so? Here is the kicker. AppSumo is a 8-figure business. On the off chance that you need to tally, that is north of $10 million per year. They have more than 1 million email supporters and made $1 million in their first year, 2010. There are unlimited models like this one on the web, and this humbleness and humility are an extraordinary method to lose contenders, regardless of whether they may be your default setting. Similar to Knows Who's the Author. Lead your group as though you were driving a solitary man by the hand. Ultimately, your business will require a group. Furthermore, in the long run, that group should develop. In any case, as organizations get greater, they get more mind-boggling. Each and every human adds an endless measure of sentiments, contemplations, and thoughts to the business, and those must be overseen. When discussing armed forces, Sun Tzu says, "A gifted general leads his military as though he was driving a solitary man by the hand." Regardless of whether you're dealing with a major armed force or a little one, the instruments are something very similar. Break them down into more modest gatherings and afterward utilize clear motions towards steer them into the correct heading. In business, that implies groups should remain little. 3 to 4 individuals are regularly a decent number to participate, before things get excessively convoluted. Then, at that point, you can set clear signals, similar to deals targets, instruments to utilize, and a day-by-day early daytime preparation, to ensure everybody's on target. Always remember one-on-one collaboration with everybody in your group, since, in such a case that you deal with your workers like family, they'll be similarly steadfast.